All right, peace, y'all. We are continuing our Women's Month series with an amazing guest, Miss Jemirah Kirby. We are here on Artivist Talks. This has been once again a really powerful series, and I invite you all to check out the Get It Cracking. We have a bunch of amazing things going on, including our Decipher community group chat, which is 100% free. You can hit us with a DM, and once that is in place, we'll add you to the chat. We also have a bunch of amazing resources you can check out on our website, including a community event page. So if you have an event that you would like to promote, just hit us up, slide up in the DMs. We're going to wait for Jemirah to join us. And yeah, I appreciate everybody who's been taking the time to check out the series. Some people have also hit us up for the Don't Take It for Granted workshop. We also have an Artivist training, which is helping artists use art to activate our organisms to its highest potential, create career opportunities, build intellectual property, and do all these things beyond that capitalist mindset. So once again, we appreciate you, and we're all here doing what we got to do. We are logged in. So let's see if we can get Jemirah on here. Yes. Thank you all for what's up, Big J. We appreciate you for joining. Hmm. Amazing. Jemirah, welcome, welcome.
What it do?
Thank you, love, for taking the time to join us. I know you got some things going on
Oh,
today, but we
pleasure.
appreciate you. Yes,
Thank
thank you
you
again.
much.
We had to do it for Women's Month. I think you're going to be our last guest of the month. So what a
Okay.
great way to represent for all the women that we've interviewed this month. So thank
Yeah.
you again for shedding light on who you are and what you do. I'll give
Oh,
you a
it's my
little
pleasure.
introduction. And then,
Yeah.
of course, if you want to add on to it, add on. And then we're going to start with our opening question. But
Sure.
yeah, I met Jemirah way back when she was just a high school student at Broome Street Academy, doing music in the Door program, everything from Glee, choir club,
Yep.
songwriting, then evolved into dancing, getting into songwriting, joined a bunch of bands, and got involved in the New York scene, went heavy and explored her artistry and creativity. Also took a leap of faith and got out of state, got out of New York, and made a big move into a more natural way of life in a farm in Michigan. We're going to get into that, but also Jemirah is a very multifaceted being. I call her my intergalactic alien fam. We out here, you know the gang, you know the vibes, bringing big
Right?
love. She's always been elevating her consciousness through her thought process, but also taking the time to dive into inner space and take care of the ultimate love, which is love of self. So, Jemirah,
Mm-hmm.
once again, thank you for being here. Let the people know a little bit about who you are, and we'll get started with our opening question. But thanks again for taking the time, and big, big, big love.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the introduction. I mean, you pretty much said a good summary. There's really not much left to say, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, currently I am surrounded in nature, you know, chilling with the birds, bees, the goats, the dogs, the ducks, the chickens.
I love it.
um, you know, and just enjoying my life, taking it day by day at my
Mm.
pace. I've been learning my pace
Ooh.
and been like honoring and accepting my pace.
Mm.
And there's confidence in that when you just chilling in your own speed, you know. Um, but yeah, I'm a singer. First of all, I'm a human being. You know, I'm
Woo.
a human being. I'm chilling in that. Secondly, I'm a vocalist. I'm a singer, songwriter, dancer. I act. It's been a minute since I've been on the stage acting, but I act too. Um, I'm illustrator. You know, and yeah, pretty much I dabble in keys. I dabble in the guitar. Uh, yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna give it to nature. I take care of animals.
Woo.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that great introduction. We always start these talks with the word artivism, right? Artivism is
Mm,
a hybrid word, which is art and activism. To us
mm,
here at Creative Expressions, we use activism as activating our organism to its highest potential, where we all can pour into ourselves so we'll overflow into community, into others, but starts always by activating ourselves. So we want to ask you, Jemirah, what does the word artivism mean to you, and how do you use art to activate your being?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, that's still something I can always ponder on and continue to get different sort of answers from.
Mm-hmm.
But currently, I guess what I can say, what that word artivism and artivist means to me is to learn how to, I guess, cultivate, your own sound and your own reason for being here, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and to roll with that, I guess for me, it's really more of like finding your reason for being here on the earth, finding a layer, because I believe that there is multiple layers of truth. I believe that there's multiple truths coexisting at the same time. So find one that really fits for you as a puzzle piece, and roll with that in your life, and use I always use any expression of my art, whether that's from dancing, singing, even stretching, illustrating. Use that in the times where, you feel the energy around the world collectively kind of get into you, and to find your center again. Find your center again, find your truth. Find your truth. Find the truth that works for you, and continue to pursue that, continue to be like rolling with that,
Mm-hmm.
living in that. Um, and there's something about like when you find a certain truth about the world, certain truth about people and civilization and community. There's like a
Mm-hmm.
certain like, I don't know, for me, I can only speak from my shoes. A certain beauty that comes with that, or like peace, or like a really nice feeling like, oh, I know something now. Like I know something about this world now, and I rock with it. And I'm gonna keep rocking with it. And again, it gives you that confidence, and I feel like that confidence can be pushed and expressed into your music, into your illustration, into your
Mm-hmm.
poetry, into your journalism. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And yeah, just roll with that, and let
Uh,
truth speak for you.
mm,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful description, Jemirah. I appreciate you. I know you have a deep history. I believe you were born in the Boogie Down or Uptown, somewhere
Yeah.
in
Born in Harlem.
born in
Harlem.
Harlem. Got it.
Yeah,
And
born in
then
Harlem, raised
raised
in
in the Boogie
Bronx.
Down. Gotcha. And
Yeah.
then you have ancestry from the South. So tell us a little bit about your journey, because I know music touched you at a very young age, and it
Mhm.
was a journey. I met you, even though you were a teenager, you were already very experienced with that. And yeah, just how was your upbringing coming up, and how did these different roles that you mentioned, these multifacets, get exposed to you in your life and almost add these puzzle pieces that make you the woman you are today?
Yeah, good question. I would say, well, I remember the earliest memory I can call back to is me like smashing a toy keyboard as a baby. The next earliest memory I can remember is me singing for my church choir.
Mm,
Me and my pops, we were singing together in church together. Then I joined, like probably around the age of 7 to 11 years old. I joined this professional choir in the Bronx called Hybrid Voices, and that's
mhm,
where um, it really kind of became more serious. It really became more structured, more intentional, more of a knowing of like, yeah, this is just naturally like one of my callings.
mm,
Um, and I remember also too, one thing that I did was I always sung in harmony, and I
mm,
thought that was
mm,
the melody,
mm,
until I was like in hybrid voices, and I like got trained with choir, solo, from alto to mid soprano, all that stuff. And yeah, from there it was hybrid voices. Then I met you, my brother from another mother, you know. Met you early high school, and it was you and the summer camp of urban art beat too that we had,
mhm.
that
Yes.
even pushed my knowledge. Now it became more so than like I learned the experience of performance already, continuing. I'm always continuing to learn the experience of performance. But with that, definitely, once I met you and got engaged with urban art beat, I started to learn the book smarts of music, tempo, rhythm, all that stuff. I got to learn a little bit of like the intellectual side of it and merge the two. And really that's when my singing and that's when my songwriting met with my singing. It was there. It was there with you guys. It was there with Glee, especially with Glee. It really pushed me to start writing for myself, singing for myself more so than just cover songs. And I didn't know I had like a natural knack for that. And I was like, okay, girl, it wasn't even like I stopped and paused and realized. I was just like, oh, I got this. Okay, let me keep writing. Like that sounds good. Let me keep, So yeah, that was like my early experiences. So yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, definitely. And then now you keep building on foundation. I'm seeing a pathway that you're going on. Now from that foundation, you also built into movement, the drawing, the design. But I always see it, like I said in the beginning, as like puzzle pieces that you're putting together. And in this puzzle is also your personal journey of you as just a young woman growing up in the city and now
Yeah.
switching environments. And how has this, me and you are blessed where we speak deeply on a lot of things from healing to
Yeah.
generational traumas. And, we know that art and creativity is just an expression of our soul, right?
Mm.
Tell us a little bit about that personal journey and how this now dances with your life and your experiences and a little bit of the decisions and choices you had to make as a young woman to even navigate to get you to this point where you're at right now.
Yeah, so many things are popping up in my head from that question. Like, I think one thing I'm still learning and I've been living in and experiencing is really new for me is to just be, is just being for myself, is just expressing and expressing my art in whatever version for myself and nothing else, nothing further. Like just keeping it very simple.
Yes.
I've toured the country. Like I was blessed to be in a band where I was able to tour multiple times. I performed to big crowds. I feel like I've fit the scene or the character for multiple projects and multiple people, and not to negate, like, yes, this was also a desire of mine, but still what was untapped and undiscovered and unbeknownst to me was like, yeah, this is a part of me, but it's not the full me. Yeah, I want to do this. Like, I want to do this. I want to be a part of it. I love this ish, but what is me? What is me? Who is that? What does that sound like? What do I sound like? What do I move like? What do I like look like? Authentically, without any expectations I put in my head, and project onto others of what they might expect of me, or what others project onto me of what they expect of me. And really making this decision to even switch environments, it was a hectic thing. It was a scary thing. But this is like the second time in my life where I know the decision I made was the correct one, and I know it was my path, because this feeling, I'm gonna just say the phrase of like, in the midst of chaos, if you're the one at peace while everyone around you is in chaos over a decision you made, you made the right choice, if that makes sense. Like, you made a choice for you, and in response and reaction, people and things are becoming chaotic around you for your personal decision that really has nothing to do with anyone else in their life. It has to do wholeheartedly with you, and you're at peace with it. And so yeah, taking this journey here to Michigan, I really made the mental intention of just being with myself, letting myself be, flaws and all the ugly, all the things, like even like living in my shame of like what I did and didn't accomplish, or and with that like that, because I allowed and because I accepted these negative emotions, they were able to dissipate a little bit more quicker rather than me fighting against it, you know, or rather than me trying to rationalize it or make it logical or make it intellectual. Really just tapping into the more of like, now I'm feeling myself, now like not I'm feeling myself, but I'm feeling myself, you know. I mean, I'm experiencing myself for the first time, and and that is that is work. Like even till today, like that is literally work because I am such an intellect. I'm such an intellectual person that there's moments, let's say even in like the next 5 minutes or something, like there's moments where I will snap back into that mind. I will snap back into the brain, like, and disconnect from the body. And it's all about just kind of shortening the gap of the disconnection, you know? And with that, with all that being said, that allows me the comfortability and the peace and the freedom to feel called to run to the keys when I just want to, you know, feel called to just belt or like sing my ass off out in the middle of nowhere when I want to, you know, to even draw some of the things that I draw too, I was holding back on myself because like I was like, oh, this looks creepy. Oh my God, this looks scary. I don't want like whatever's going on internally to be expressed out on paper. Until I realized like you gotta just let that shit breathe. Like let it go, you know? So yeah, right now, I guess to answer your question is just really just allow myself to experience with no judgment. And if I do judge, okay, that's it. It's life, you know? Just don't sit in it, wallow in it. Yeah.
Wow. That's a huge gem. I had to drop the little gold flakes right there for the gems you drop in, Jemirah. That's why I always call you Gem. You got it.
Yeah.
That's gonna lead me to another thread that I see in what you've done, right? You know, you're
Mm,
still a young woman, but you've
mm.
reached, in my opinion, as someone who's older than you, I'm like, wow, she's reached this level of awareness at such a young numerical age.
Mm.
And I see that parallel, right? Because you said it, like all of us, I think we all start. I was looking for the shows, the Grammys, the big this. And
Right.
then I think they reach a tipping point where you start to realize there's more to life than this. And I like how you said, if I'm going to just scream outside and sing at the top of my lungs or draw something dark, I'm going to accept this. What do
Yeah.
you think allowed you to reach that level of awareness within yourself and have the courage to, like you said, face yourself and feel me? As you said, most people just keep busy and busy. You could have easily stayed on the grind for another 5, 10 years,
Right.
tried the hustle, but you stopped. And what do you think allowed you to stop, reset, and make that choice to prioritize this discovery that you've been on?
Burning myself out.
Mm, break it
Burning
down.
myself out to the core, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was like really like I have nowhere else to go. There's no deeper level to be than this, you know. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think for anybody, you know, I think individuals, us as people, we like to try to individualize ourselves of like, no, I will do something really bad, like do, and not to negate or invalidate anybody's experience or trauma,
Mm-hmm.
but we all experience trauma and darkness. So whatever level of trauma and darkness it is for you that you deem is rock bottom, that's it. I can't take anymore. Like there comes events, you know, in this 3D world, and other dimensions, like where it is so much or just a little bit too much for the soul, for like your energy to handle alone.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe this comes with a level of self-awareness, whether you believe in a higher source or not. I believe that inevitably for anyone, every individual, if they are in avoidance, if they are in a numbness, a distraction sort of realm, and they're getting like beaten on, you know, it's like there will come a point where you're just like, bro, I can't. Like, I can't keep doing this anymore. I'm tired. I am tired. Like, this ain't working. Like, it has been working, but barely. It has been working, but at what cost, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
with that, like, it's a surrender. It's at first I interpreted it, and like this is something real fresh in my mind of like not seeing it in this light anymore. Of like, oh, I failed, I lost. That like
Mm-hmm.
it felt like I was like a soldier in a huge army, and the whole army got knocked off, and I was the only remaining survivor, and I'm coming back to report, what happened in battle, but like I'm like I'm just crawling, and it felt like a failure. Like it really felt very low. And then I realized, like, you know what? Like this is just a moment of this is like the moment in a TV show or a comic of like the hero has like given up something that they feel like, dang, that was my dream, that was like everything, and I had to like I let it slip out of my hand. I gave it up. Little did they know, later on in the story, because of their sacrifice, they're about to receive something even greater. You know what I'm saying? And I believe like a piece of what that greater gift is your peace of mind and a sense of self, a higher sense of self, and owning that shit, you know? And it's like surrender and trust. There's a point where you're just like, man, F it. I don't even care. And not even in a jadedness of like, to a point where you just surrender and you've given up so much, and you're gonna see where life takes you, where God takes you, where source takes you. You know what I'm saying? And you have no other choice but to trust in whatever you believe in, whatever higher source you believe in, and be like, listen, it's human instincts to survive one way or another. So we gonna figure this out. You know, so that's what got me, was like, I burnt myself out. I ran myself dry, realizing that I've put my energy and dedicated my energy into supporting other people's projects, other people's dreams. Um, Enjoying myself in the process, but giving way too much of myself without realizing. There was a lack of self-awareness in that department of myself, because I was giving so much and not realizing, why am I focusing, why am I giving all this attention and all this energy to something outside of me? What is making me avoid myself and like giving what I'm giving to others to me, so yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
so beautiful, Jemirah, and thank you for the wise insight of that. And just to recap, the burnout, the seeing that something wasn't adding up, the realizing
Mm.
you're not getting the best of your own life and having to prioritize self. I also want to
Mhm.
parallel that to how you were able to make an environment shift. A lot of people who grow up in the environment that we grew up, which is a busy, fast-paced place like New York City, very densely populated and intense, are not able sometimes mentally to go into these quieter spaces and face themselves because their nervous systems are not used to it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was a lot of hard work and continues to be so.
Yeah.
How do you feel the physical environments play different roles, and how were you able to be like, nah, I'm not gonna just stay here 1 month or 2 months and call it quits. I'm gonna sit through this and really discover. I remember talking to you a year after you were down there, and you're like, you came back to New York and like, nah, I still got more work to do, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
continue and do it. What do you think is
Yeah.
inspiring you to quote unquote dig a little deeper down to go beyond the surface instead of just jumping back to things? I know it comes with its challenges, right? To be
Mhm.
able to shift those environments. So let us
Yeah.
know some insight in that, because I'm sure that that could give people a lot of insight on how they may be able to get through some of the hurdles or shift their
Mhm.
environments.
Yeah, I think what I unknowingly have done and did at a very, very young age, being a Black person in our community, anybody of color in our community, we've grown up with like very dysfunctional families. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of us can relate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, um, in my experience, one thing that I did from growing up in high dysfunctional families and growing up with like the physical, emotional, mental, verbal trauma is is like that detachment, the disassociation. And what I how I like to interpret it now, what I love about flaws or negativities is that you can transcend those things. I believe, like, you know what once was like a weapon, or like the sword pointed at yourself, it can be your strength now, it can be your superpower. And I believe, from it sounds weird and dark, like what, but from like gaining that dis gaining that ability to disassociate or detach at such a young age, um helped aid in being able to on a self-awareness level, on like energetic, a spiritual level, is being able to detach and not find much attachment to the physical, to the environment. And with that, it's not a detachment out of jadedness. It's a detachment out of like, I have the world to experience. Why am I skimping out on that? You know what I'm saying? I have all of life to experience. I could go anywhere. I could do anything, you know? And I believe like with that sort of sense of detachment, also coupled with like the blessings of letting music be a piece of my savior, a piece of like my guiding light, I that gave me the opportunities and the blessings to travel, to tour. So already with traveling, I've experienced different environments, different cultures, different ways of life, you know. Um, so those two coupled, I think allowed me to navigate my way through life and choose to pick up my stuff and go much more easy. And also I lived a lifestyle of like, basically I lived like a traveling monk sort of lifestyle, you know, from a very young age, I would say around 16, 17, I was couch surfing a lot for many years. For many years been couch surfing.
Hmm.
And with that, I've seen how other people lived, you know? And I think just with observation of all those three, the detachment, disassociation, the music, and the traveling, living under other people's roofs and observing how they live their life. Like you see like no matter where you go, you still have your own shit travels with you in the passenger seat. It
Facts.
either travels with you on the passenger seat, in your backpack, in your pocket, on your phone,
Mm.
and your mental. You know what I'm saying? So, I believe like just those three things together was being able to know how to detach myself from things, not cling on to so much physical or superficial stuff, being
Mm.
able to experience the blessing of touring and traveling and being immersed in so many different cultures, and also like seeing a side of misery by living under other people's lifestyles and seeing how they're not content, they're not happy, but they're really not doing much to change that,
Mm.
you
Mm.
know. And being under like really harsh circumstances and still surviving through it and finding like always the green and the light through it, you know, it's like,
Mm.
yeah, why not? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just
Wow.
that's how the cards are dealt for me.
Wow. Well, you used a great analogy of transforming or transmogrifying. Like, I'm gonna
Mm.
just say the lemon to lemonade, right? You were able to take some of the
Yes,
same
yes.
situations. Ah, the
Yeah.
lemons, we locked in. See, they knew, right? That you were able to
Right.
take this thing that causes a lot of people to give up or stay in the same environment or stay in the same neighborhood or give up. And you're like, nah, I'm gonna use that to be like, I could not be attached. I could let go. I could start again. I love how you said you were able to witness through the couch surfing era. You're
Mm.
seeing people that are not fully happy there, and you're like, man, I got to do something to make sure that I get what I need out of life. And
Right.
I commend you that that's way beyond your years, and I'm glad you found that strength to take the journey. I
Mm.
know, Jemirah, you've also dove into a lot of things around nature, whether that's food, hanging out with the animals, being in these environments. And I know us coming from these urban environments, sometimes the closest we get to nature is a patch of dirt. But we
Right.
forget that we are nature in ourselves. I want
Yeah.
you to talk about your experience, like literally being around natural things, because I know this was a relationship you weren't born into. You grew and
Mm.
developed and are developing this relationship. So let us know how nature's been affecting you, your art, and just your outlook on life in general.
Yeah, honestly, it's been a big help, and I could still take more advantage of it than I have been in the current. You know, it's been
Hmm.
getting busier over this course of this new year. I mean, now the new year is kind of starting
Hmm.
energetically, um, but it really has caused me to slow down, to in many ways I'm still running or playing delulu with myself, avoidance with myself, but even within that, again, no judgment. It's okay. It's fine. Like, and then like you said, the reminder of like, I'm young. I need to chill. Because with that, like where that's coming from is like from some sort of shame or from some sort of
Mm.
like, criticism. It's not coming from love, you
Mm.
know. And I think with that, like even how I speak today, how I think today, I believe, I believe like significantly it has to do with a change in my environment. And now it's not to say, your environment, a change in your environment can only do so much for you, because if you still decide, it's still your choice, still your decision. If you still want to play Delulu with yourself 100%,
Mm.
if you still want to live in misery, because that's an addiction, and that's like a comfort space of like living in this repetitive cycle of misery and negativity and everything and stress. But um, I believe like just from like tapping in with the environment here, being around cleaner air, choosing to
Mm.
like make conscious inhales, and like again finding my own version of like being immersed in nature. I don't have to be outside all the time walking 800 miles, like
Mm.
even if it's just like 15 minutes today, let me go
Mm-hmm.
chill with the ghosts. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Let me just bask in the sun right now. It's
Yep.
really dope. Like, and think nothing further. Like, honestly, sometimes I like to have like, I like to have like a docile mind or like a mind like of
Mm-hmm.
like an animal. Like when they're just chilling. And there's
Mm-hmm.
not. That's it. They just be chilling, like nothing else. Nothing.
That's
No,
fire.
nothing else. And it's like, yeah, yeah, I could get down with this. Um,
Oh, I love
and
it.
I think it has really calmed and helped with like any sort of angst and anxiety, um,
Mm.
or self-criticism, like just like that. Just chill, just be confident in that. Like, be confident in like
Mm.
you just chilling. You don't need to
Mm-hmm.
do anything. Like you're good. And yeah, I think that's how like nature and being in this environment. And I keep looking over here because I have a big, big like window that's
Yeah.
just showing like a good view right now, this huge tree. So I just keep staring over there.
There you
Like,
go. You're
yeah,
bringing it in. You're bringing but the tree's wisdom into this
yeah,
this talk. No,
yeah.
Jemirah, that's so amazing, and there's so much gems in what you said. I'm finding a common thread in a bit of what we've spoken on so far.
Mm,
And it's really about leading to that stillness, right? A flower doesn't tell itself, hey, I'm gonna bloom at 3 o'clock and I got an appointment with the wind and water me at noon exactly, right? It allows things, it allows the rain to come, it absorbs things. And I see that that stillness has been something that you've sought out. And I think people don't realize that that's work, right?
mhm,
That anything that is programmed into you has to be unlearned, right? And I feel like
mhm,
you've been taking that time to untie these knots that may have been instilled through systems, through whether it be capitalist mindsets or societal
mhm,
infrastructures.
mhm,
What do you see coming for you now that, yeah, I know you're about to make the move back into New York City?
mhm.
Now that you've gotten these steps, you've made this awareness, and the journey is a lifelong journey. What do you feel is coming up next for you right now, or what's happening, and what do you foresee
Yeah,
evolving now that you're about to transition again, just like how you transitioned into something different?
yeah. Excited. I really see, like, when you was asking that question, it was like focus, 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 focus. It's like a train and focus, grasp your opportunities, walk forward into opportunities, create your opportunities as well. Um,
Mm.
I really see like just deep focus and confidence in that focus, confidence in I feel like there's more of a knowing now rather than like, oh, we're just gonna see. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
Like, it's like, no, we get an A, B, and C in order. We're going after this. We're going after that. And
Yeah.
then from those actions, then from that mindset, then from that attitude, then we'll see. Then we'll see what comes, you know?
Ooh.
But
The
We know
balance.
what we're doing. We know what we're shooting for. We know what we're going after. We know what we
Mm,
want to do. And like we're taking it. So it's like I feel like it's really the beginning of like honestly taking the space that's been waiting for me to walk into, the throne that's been like polished
mm-hmm.
and cushioned and ready for me to sit in. You know, definitely like high focus is what I've been on, you know. And being in my own business, being in my own business, and
Mm,
being very selective with the people, the energy, the space, the surroundings I choose to let in and put myself in as well, you know? So,
mm.
yeah.
Wow, Jemirah, you're dropping so much gems that are like, it's these simple things that get overlooked
Yes.
by these
And
grandiose ideas, and simple is always truth. You're gonna
that's
say something?
yeah, very quick, because I can go on a
Go
tangent
on.
with that. I feel like we get so, it's simplicity, it's simple. Like, that's the answer. It's just make it simple. Simple. And I don't know if it's New Yorkers or other city-based people that like this is why we're struggling on our healing journey, our shadow work, our journey of self. It's like because again, that intellect, we be so in the head, we be so in the mind, and we forget about
Mm,
just experiencing. Like it's one thing to read the driver's manual and be like, all right, I know how to drive now, but you never even sat your ass down in the car and push the
hmm.
wheel. You don't even know how
Gotta
to
get that in
reverse.
there.
Gotta get that in there. Like it's okay. It's okay. Chill. Like as Jordan Sparks said, just one step at a time. There is no need to rush. Like just
Ooh.
chill. Chill. Play it simple. When you have these emotions, when you have this thought, there's no need to like have thought and immediately be like, oh, doing stuff with. Have the thought. Let it be, even if it's disgusting or whatever. If you let it be, it's gonna pass, and then like the truth will come, like more of like what really you want to say, how you really feel, what you really want to do. But you just gotta
Mm,
experience, do like you gotta do, experience, and live in it first to even like really know what it is that you're doing, what you want to do, what you're shooting for, what you think you're shooting for. Like you know, you could be a coffee
mm,
person, but you don't know that until like you've tried matcha, until you tried chai, until you tried this,
mm,
and then you get to coffee and you're
mm.
like, ah, this is my thing. This is my thing. But I wouldn't have known it if I didn't just jump into experimentation with it, you know? So I think like it's just plain and simple, experiment with yourself and see what works for you. And that goes with so many categories of life, not just like your
Oh,
major stuff,
yeah.
but everything. So yeah, just play it simple.
Wow. I'm gonna call this one the harmonies of Jemirah. I'm seeing the origin story of how you just like, how there's always that note and then there's so many harmonic possibilities, but it's
Yes.
all about what revolves, how it relates to that initial tone, right? And I
Yes.
love how you said, so this whole conversation gave you so much gems of just no matter what note is playing, you could switch the harmony no matter what life
Right.
gives you. So woo! I want to be mindful of your time, Jemima. This went by like greased
I
lightning,
know.
but I do want to hold space for you to share a piece or anything you got coming up. It could be some artwork, it could be singing something, it could be a poem, a journal entry, if you choose to. And then I'm
Mhm.
gonna do a little wrap up on the acts because I know you got to roll in a few minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, feel free to let us know what's coming up for you. And of
Mhm.
course, share something. I'm a big fan ever since you were starting high school. I was like, Jemirah, one day watch. And like it's been like more than 10 years, but I'm like, yes, we both exercise patience. We go through our journeys, but you someone that stayed in my life and my journey, and I just want to say thank you for so
Oh,
much. And watching you
thank
evolve
you.
has been like incredible. It's just like watching a flower bloom and blossom slowly like the lotus. So yeah, share us something if you got it. If you don't, no pressure, no problem. I'll do a little jam and we can let people know what you got coming up and how to find so we can get you where you need to go on divine
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
right? Yeah, so
Wow, thank you, thank
yeah.
you. You know, I haven't really been working on something specific in a minute. It's been like high
Hmm.
logistics priorities I've been taking care of. But there
Hmm.
is, I mean, I have so many song seeds. in
Yeah.
the bank. That's one thing that I'm highly looking forward to when I head back to the city is like getting immersed in like my right group of people, to find that good state of taking my song season ideas into fruition, you know. And there is two things. There's two song seeds that I've made that I really always think of and I like to hum. Um, there's one that's like this sort of rock, pop rock sort of thing, but
Mm-hmm.
acapella. I love the words I created. It goes, "Where was I when I was sleeping on a long journey far away, deep in the hole I was dreaming, falling, tripping off insanity. I found myself now I'm awoken, awoken. Ooh, bring it back home, the gods have spoken, and I read my mind of you. Ooh, ooh, red, my mind of you. So bring back my mind. Bring back my mind. Bring back my mind. Bring back my mind. It sounds better with the music, but yeah, the lyrics is
Woo!
nice.
You can hear, I hear the drums, I hear the whole orchestra behind it. Jemirah, you're
Yeah.
amazing. I love where you sing from. You sing from a very, very special place. You always
Mm.
have, and I love what you access. I really think that everything you said about your journey was an essential part. I threw back the gems dropping because you got them, and I really hope people can see that they can unlock things by simply, it's not necessarily easy, but it is simple to return
Yeah.
back to that simplicity. I know we only got a few minutes left here, so
Mm.
I do want you to let us know how people can get in touch with you. If there's anything you want to promote that you got coming up at the moment, we're gonna
Mm.
definitely tag you in this. We're gonna throw it on the YouTube with all your info on there. But if there's anything just on your heart or on your spirit that you want to communicate before we wrap up, please take a moment to do so.
Yeah, currently I am just working on getting my portfolio website together to add all the things that I have done in my past so people and viewers and anyone who's curious, any other fellow artists who are curious about working or collaborating, they can see my experience. Um, but the best way you can just reach out to me is either here through Instagram, you can DM me, or you can, I should put this in my bio. You can email me. I'll put my email in the bio. It's just kirbyjamira@gmail.com. And yeah, really, there's really nothing I'm working on. I would love to start collaborating with people. I would love to experience other people's sound if I mesh well with any other artist's sound. Let's see what we can create. Let's see some dope magic. And yeah, just really that. Playing it chill, chill until the day comes, you know?
Oh
Yeah.
man, Jemirah, well, you're one of my favorites, and mark my
Yeah.
words, I'm banging out at least a couple albums with you and get back. So we
Come on
working. We're
now.
gonna continue, like we never left, like how we did it, like how we always do it. You are someone who I just hear melodies every time I'm around you. So I'm gonna
Yes.
play a little something. If you feel like jumping on the free and letting it be
Hey.
over this little riff, let it go. But I'll just have you in for another minute or two, and we'll
Yeah,
let you get
yeah.
about the rest of your evening, and we'll cap it up with the little freestyle, Jemirah. So if you got
Yeah.
something, let it loose. If not, I'll close it off for you. But we're out here. And thank you for
Yeah.
taking this time on Women's Month. We honor all our women, especially our lovely Black sisters that are out here doing so much. Please take y'all
Yes.
rest.
Thanks, sis.
Listen to what Jemirah said. There's answers in between the notes, y'all. Let's just jam it out for a bit and then we'll let her out of here.
Yeah. Just let it be. Don't try to ride the wave, just let it be. Let it be, just let it be. Don't try to ride the wave, just let it be. Let it be, just let it be. Don't try to ride the wave, let it be. I like that. That's a little hook
Yeah.
right there.
I had to let it go. I had to let it be. Jemirah and me, we was back in the day in that BSA. Had to live it and we had to get it all the way. So it's a harmony. You hear it in the sound. And if you find lost, start listening to ground. And maybe the birds and the wind to tell you something. It all starts when you go back to nothing. Make a key change, rearrange, and we just go. We let it all go because I don't want to hold her up anymore. I know it's 7:46, but I'ma let her go. She's not someone I miss because she's right here in the moment, making it bliss. Bring
Hey,
it back, Jemirah, to that cook.
let
Let
it
it be.
be, just let it be. Don't try to ride the wave, just let it be. Let it be, let it be. Don't try to ride the wave, let it be. Yeah. Ah.
We did it.
Yeah.
Track 1 of the album. We did it right here on the
Word.
live with y'all. Let
Talk
it be,
about it.
y'all. You heard it from Jemirah herself. I don't want to take up any more of her precious time. Tap in with her. The link is going to be right in this description. New York, stay tuned. We're about to have one of our best coming home. Thank you,
Get
Jemirah. I
ready.
look forward to seeing you soon. Peace and love, and have a great event tonight.
So much
I'm so
love.
grateful for you in my life, and just let it be, y'all. We're signing out on
Yes.
Artivist Talk with Miss Jemirah Kirby. If you don't know, now you know.
No.
All right. Peace and love. We will see y'all
Peace
soon.
and love.